My name is Martin Lesperance, and I've worked 25 years as a firefighter and paramedic. I left that profession so I could focus on preventing injuries and fatalities instead of responding to them after the fact. So what does this have to do with hiring a speaker? I can deliver a talk that your audience will remember for a very long time, and the information will be vitally important to everyone sitting in that room. You see, my talks aren't only for safety meetings, but I could be a hit for any meeting. I can increase productivity within your organization by making people more aware of their safety both on and off the job. And I do this with compelling stories. Some of them are funny, sad, weird, and bizarre, and some are very moving, but all of them have a vital safety message. So if you want a speaker who can offer something just a little bit different from the main topic, I can help. And if you're holding your meeting in Calgary, Banff, or Canmore, Alberta, well, there isn't any travel costs because this is where I live. Here's a little bit more about myself. I've written and produced and been featured in over 25 safety videos, and I've written several safety books. These are like bathroom reading with a safety message. In fact, one organization bought 12,000 copies to give to their employees to take home. Some of the organizations I've spoken for are Lockheed Martin, Boeing, NASA, Los Alamos National Laboratory, Mississippi Power, Manitoba Hydro, Sask Power, and that's just to name a few. If you think I could be a fit for one of your meetings, here's a story that I've opened my talks with for many, many years and has been very effective. Now, I'm going to tell you a story that I've used in my talks for years. It's 9 o'clock on a beautiful Saturday morning, August 16th, 1994. And Michael, who's 34 years of age, well, he's in the backyard doing some work. And he feels great because lately, everything seems to be going his way in all aspects of his life. But there's one part of his life that he's especially proud of, and that is the relationship with his two little kids. In fact, in another hour, he's going to take them to the soccer game. But before he does that, he has one last little chore, and that is to finish cleaning the leaves out from the eaves trough. So Michael takes the step ladder, he goes up the ladder, scoops out the leaves, comes down, moves the ladder over, goes back up, scoops out the leaves, and he continues doing this for the length of the house. And when he gets to the last couple feet of the gutter, he pauses and he hesitates, and he realizes he should get down from the ladder and move it over in order to finish the job in a safe manner. But he decides against that. He decides to take a little bit of a risk, the type of risks we take every day. And when he was on the ladder, he leaned over just a little bit too far. He lost his balance, the ladder tipped over, Michael came crashing down to the ground. And when he landed on his back, on top of a little wooden picket fence that him and his wife had placed around their flower bed earlier that summer. And when he landed with enough force that wood from the fence shattered a vertebrae, which in turn drove those sharp little bone chips into his spinal cord, which is about the consistency of Jell-O. Michael's wife heard his cries. She came running out. She saw what had happened. She ran back into the house and she called 911. We got the call and we responded to the house within minutes. Took her kits, went to the back of the house, and sure enough, on the ground by that little wooden fence was Michael. So I went up and I introduced myself like I do with all patients. I says, "Hi, my name's Martin. I'm a paramedic with the fire department. What seems to be the problem?" And I'll never forget what he said or how he said it, because he was crying and he was whispering at the same time because he didn't want to scare his family who was standing a few feet away. But he said, "I can't move my legs. I can't even feel them." We examined Michael, and what we discovered is that he had no movement, feeling, or sensation from mid-chest down to his toes. So very carefully, we treated him for a spinal cord injury and transferred him to the hospital. In the hospital, they examined him for hours and did all kinds of tests. And then they confirmed his worst fears. His paralysis was going to be permanent. So that day, things changed for Michael, but they not only changed for Michael, they changed for his family also, because there is always a ripple effect when an injury happens. And it depends on the actual injury and the seriousness of that particular injury, which gauges how far-reaching the ripple effect is going to be. And in Michael's case, it's obvious. It's going to touch every aspect of his life. His role as a husband, as a lover, as a father, and even as an employee, because Michael will never, ever be able to go back to the job that he once had. So it was because of Michael and other people like him who I've attended, I set a goal to try to prevent injuries from happening to people, and I do it because I really don't like to see people hurt. Thanks again.